Whether you're marching in the parade, grilling in the backyard, or raising a toast to liberty, do it in the gear that screams freedom. Celebrate 250 years of USA in style. Wear your American pride loud. Trendjackers.etsy.com. Grab yours before the fireworks.
From Governor's Comedy Club in Levittown, this is Sportsbash, presented by TicketBash.com. TicketBash.com, where memories are made affordable and where you'll never pay a service fee. Sportsbash is also presented by the Ryan Anthony Head Start Fund, a group of like-minded individuals trying to raise awareness to our future generations of all possibilities of success other than just college. For more information, visit www.lookwhomadeit.org. Well, hi again, everyone. I'm Peter Schwartz. Welcome to a Thursday edition of Sports Bash here at Governor's Comedy Club podcast. Phone number to call is 516-465-3990. A little rainy outside, but here's the good news. The snow is melting. We're almost done. Yeah, Tony Walker, my producer, and you just watched him on the Knock 'em Dead Comedy Show weekdays from 11 to 12:30. The snow is disappearing. A little more rain. Listen, no one likes rain either, but at least the rain is washing away the snow, and it's supposed to get really warm later on in the week and over the weekend. So we are getting into spring, baseball season right around the corner, and the snow, hopefully this is the end of it, which I think it will be. Not that I'm a meteorologist or anything, but it sounds like the snow is done and it'll be melted by the weekend. I think you won't see a trace of it. anymore. We have an action-packed show for you today, and I really mean from start to finish, action-packed here on Sports Bash today. In about 18 minutes or so, I'm going to be joined by New York Red Bulls head coach Michael Bradley, his first season as head coach of the Red Bulls, and what a first season it has been so far. They're off to a 2-0 start, heading into Sunday's home game against CF Montreal. So he'll be on in the next segment, and listen, it's very, very hard for guys like me to get soccer stuff that fits me. Years ago, the Red Bulls were very nice. They special ordered a sweatshirt for me in a 4XL, and it's very, very hard to find that kind of stuff. So I usually just get a Red Bulls hat or a pin, but I also am very, very happy that I have this Red Bulls scarf that I'm going to wear during the interview later in the show. So it's a beautiful scarf that the Red Bulls sent me, I think it was 2 years ago. I found it today in my box of scarves, so we're going to wear it during the interview. And by the way, I am convinced that this whole tradition of wearing scarves at soccer matches, whether it's here in the United States or overseas, I'm convinced the idea of wearing a soccer scarf was done to help fat guys who like soccer. Because how else can you explain? And everyone has one. It's like the easiest thing now. You go to a soccer game, you don't have a shirt, you just get the scarf, man. It doesn't matter if you're my size or tiny or whatever. Like the scarf, and it's fashionable. You can wear it anytime. You can wear it on a cold day. You can wear it on a hot day. It doesn't matter. It's the greatest thing, and it's really the only thing that I can get from the Red Bulls other than a hat that fits. So very thankful to the Red Bulls for sending that. We'll wear that during the interview with Michael Bradley. Also, we're going to be joined by former Mets pitcher Bob Ojeda, who will be receiving a Thurman Munson Award next Thursday at the annual Thurman Munson Awards event in Manhattan. Of course, Bobby O, a part of the 1986 Mets World Championship team, and we're looking forward to having him. What a terrific pickup that was for the Mets. And it was kind of unheralded at the time, but boy, did he really give the Mets a boost that year on the mound. And he had that great performance against the Red Sox in Game 3 of the World Series in '86. Remember, the Mets lost the first 2 games of the World Series at Shea, and then they wound up winning 2 out of the next 3 in Boston, and then won the last 2 at Shea to win the World Series. But that comeback in that World Series started with Bobby Ojeda on the mound for the Mets in Game 3. So looking forward to having Bobby O on the show coming up. We'll also have our usual suspects, what's hot at ticketbash.com, the Sports Bash Media poll question of the day, and we'll also check out the Coaches Collectibles item of the week. It's time for the Sports Bash Flash. It's presented by the Marty Lyons Foundation. The 6th annual Marty Lyons Foundation NFL Draft Party will be on Thursday, April 23rd. Great South Bay Brewery in Bayshore. For more information, visit martylyonsfoundation.org. I'm excited. It's my 6th year. I've been the host of it since its inception. It's a great night. You know, Marty obviously is there, Kenny Schroy, Greg Buttle, Bobby Jackson, a bunch of former Jets and other, NFL players. Jay Fiedler's there usually every year. But it's a great event with great food and drinks and raffle prizes and just a big night of fun. And remember, this year, it's all about the Jets and Giants really in that first round. The Raiders have the first pick. They're going to take Fernando Mendoza, all likelihood. But the Jets have the 2nd pick and the 16th pick. The Giants are going to pick 5th, and they have their new head coach, John Harbaugh, and my good buddy, Matt Nagy, who is the offensive coordinator. So a lot of excitement around that 5th pick in the draft. It's a great night, so make sure you go on over to martylyonsfoundation.org and get more information. Sad news yesterday in the world of sports. Legendary college football head coach Lou Holtz passed away at the age of 89. Of course, he led Notre Dame to the national championship in 1988. And younger fans might not know this, but Lou Holtz was a one-time coach of the Jets. He coached the Jets in 1976 all the way until there was 1 game left to go, and he resigned to go take the head coaching job at Arkansas. But he was the Jets head coach the last year that Joe Namath played for the Jets, because remember, he left and went to the Rams for his final NFL season the following year. But Lou Holtz, just a gem of a human being, always got the most out of his players, and deepest condolences to his family and friends. Lou Holtz passed away at the age of 89. NFL free agency is right around the corner, and some teams are making deals. The Bills today got a nice shiny new present for their quarterback as they acquire wide receiver DJ Moore from the Bears. So Josh Allen really happy he's got a really good wide receiver now in his stable. Yesterday, the Thunder beat the Knicks 103-100. Ducks over the Islanders 5-1. Devils beat the Maple Leafs 4-3 in a shootout. Exhibition baseball. The Yankees beat the Red Sox 4-0. George Lombard Jr., Yankees top prospect, hit a home run that I think is still going. It might have gotten up to the Carolinas by this point. That he hit in that exhibition game yesterday. Tony, did you see the highlight of that? He crushed it. And they have like a mini Fenway Park there where the Red Sox have spring training in Florida. Yeah. I mean, he crushed it. Between Spencer Jones and George Lombard crushing home runs, I mean, can't wait to see them playing in the Bronx, although I don't know if it's going to be this year. Tonight, Islanders at the Kings, Maple Leafs at the Rangers, the Nets are at the Heat, the Twins are at the Yankees, the Mets are at the Nationals. Remember, tomorrow is the NHL trading deadline, so a lot of rumors percolating about the locals, including the Islanders, who have some first-round draft picks to dangle as they try to stay in the playoff race and fortify their top six in forwards, and maybe they add a defenseman also, but we'll see what happens before the trading deadline tomorrow. And that's what's happening. Sportsbash Flash, presented by the Marty Lyons Foundation. Now, before we get to Michael Bradley in a little bit, and also Bobby Ojeda later on in the show, as anybody who knows me would know, I'm always interested in new opportunities. Work, I would say I do this for a living, right? But if there's a work opportunity that makes sense for me, I'm going to look at it. Now, I didn't look hard enough at the opportunity I had last year with a certain football team, but we know how that worked out, right? Right, Tony?
Oh, yeah.
Thankfully, I'm with a real sports franchise right now, an American soccer club. But I'm, excuse me, I'm always looking for that next great work opportunity. And while watching TV with my wife this morning, I think we may have found a perfect position for me because it really encompasses everything that I'm all about. Well, mostly everything that I'm all about. So we're watching TV this morning, and this story comes up that Wendy's, yes, my favorite fast food place, Wendy's, looking for a role, to fill a role that I think is perfect for me. So I think I'm going to go for it. Chief Tasting Officer. And Tony, you didn't know about this until I brought it up to you before, right?
Right.
So Wendy's is looking for a Chief Tasting Officer. And here's a little bit about the role. The title, Chief Tasting Officer. Here's, not that it's the only thing, but it's a pretty cool thing. The pay for this job is $100,000. $100,000 to be the Chief Tasting Officer for Wendy's, my favorite fast food place. Location of this job is remote. There's no office. You're working from home, or you go to a local Wendy's, because the travel, they say, is light, mostly to your local Wendy's and to your couch. I can do that. I've got a car. I can go to my local Wendy's, which I did right before the show, and I can go to my couch. Easy. I do it every single day. Well, I don't go to Wendy's every day, but now that they're probably watching this, they would like me to, and that may be part of my job. So they want me to start, or they want whoever gets, I'm assuming that I get the job, start as ASAP. And this is what put me over the top in going for this position. Required credentials. And stop me, anybody, you can call the show at 516-465-3990, or Tony can just, stop me if I miss anything here. These are the required credentials for this job. A human mouth.
You
got it.
Have that.
I have that. Yes, Tony. Thank you. A big one sometimes too, right? A pulse. I'm here. I'm talking. I'm walking, right? I got a pulse. Opinions. If you watch this show, you know I have opinions. Creativity. I could be creative. Absolutely, I could be creative. Creative with the show, creative in life, creative at home, whatever. I'm creative. And certainly taste. The last thing on the list. I have that. COVID didn't knock that out for me. I'm sorry for people who lost their taste for a short time, but I never lost my sense of taste. So I think I have all the qualifications for this job. Now, you go further on the website to how to apply. Upload a video showing us why you're perfect for this position. and bonus points if you show Wendy's branding, products, food, or restaurant. So I got to thinking, the show starts at 1 o'clock. I have to have lunch at some point, so I stopped by Wendy's before coming to the show today. There's my Diet Coke, and here's my biggie bag. And my go-to Wendy's meal is the biggie bag with my double stack, ketchup only, no cheese. We've got the nuggets that come with it, little chicken nugs, and we've got the French fries. So I have to show that I know what I'm talking about when it comes to Wendy's food. So let's first open up the double stack. And this is just unbelievable. The juices flow. It's got tremendous taste. It is by far away, the tastiest, most delicious fast food burger that's out there. So the people at Wendy's that are watching, it's tremendous. And I'm going to finish this during the commercial. Now, what goes with a burger? I mean, you got to really work hard to screw up fries. And there are fast food places that screw up French fries. But Wendy's, they are the crispiest. Tremendous. Let's see if we can hear that crunch. You hear that crunch, Tony?
I heard it.
Yeah. They are the best fries. Tremendous. You really shouldn't have more than one at a time, but I wanted to prove a point. And the last thing that comes with the biggie bag are the chicken nuggets, the chicken nuggets. Now, I don't want to mess up the studio here, so normally I would dip these in barbecue sauce, but I did not want to ruin anything here because this is expensive equipment here, right?
Yes.
Yes, thank you. So we'll just go the nuggets without. Oh, it's good stuff. Because a chicken nugget, you have to have that combination of it being tender and crunchy and that good breading on the outside. And Wendy's really, they got it all. So I think I just showed to everybody that I would be a perfect candidate to be the Wendy's Chief Tasting Officer. I've got all the credentials. I've got the time to do it from home. I've got a car so I can travel. So for the people at Wendy's, I'm your guy. Let me know what I have to do next in order to fulfill this position. So there we go. I don't know if anybody here at Governor's Comedy Club Podcast, Tony, you would be able to help me. Has anybody actually applied for a job while they were on the air doing a job?
I don't think so.
No. So nobody has ever hosted in the history of Governor's Comedy Club Podcast. Nobody has ever hosted a show and applied for a job at the same time. So we're always trying to create history here on Sportsbash, and I think we just did it here with that.
That was worth $100,000.
I think, and you know what? If I get that job, I will take you out to lunch at Wendy's.
Perfect.
Okay, there you go. Because you're always eating during the show anyway, so it doesn't. So it is time for the Sports Bash Media Poll Question of the Day. It's presented by the Embassy Diner, located at 4280 Hempstead Turnpike in Bethpage. Every customer is considered family at the Embassy Diner. Mention Sports Bash and get a free dessert with your meal. We post a new question every Tuesday and Thursday on the Sports Bash Media X/Twitter page. And here it is. We're going to stay on the subject of food. What is your favorite ballpark arena food? And we give you 4 choices. Hot dog, chicken fingers, hamburger, or other. Comment below. And I have to give everybody credit. You've been doing better with the other comment below in the last few polls. I'll start with Tony. Favorite food to have at the ballpark or arena?
Hot dog.
Hot dog? I'm going with chicken fingers.
Oh.
And I love the UBS Arena chicken fingers. They are far and away the best chicken fingers in the area. The second one behind there are the Yankees. The Yankees have that big, giant vat of chicken fingers and French fries. So we like that, but I'm going with chicken fingers. Enough talking about food here on the show. We're going to talk a little soccer when we come back. We're going to be joined by Red Bulls head coach Michael Bradley when we come back right after this. Hi, I'm Peter Schwartz.
And I'm Vinny Tickets.
We want to take a moment to talk about our fantastic sponsor, the Embassy Diner.
Embassy Diner has been a beloved staple in the restaurant industry for over 50 years. And the great thing about it is when you walk through the door, you're not a customer, you are family. Every visit promises to be filled with warmth, love, and respect.
And here's an extra treat. If you mention Sportsbash during your visit, you enjoy a free dessert on the Embassy Diner.
Come on down to the Embassy Diner, where great food and great company are always on the menu.
Visit the Embassy Diner located at 4280 Hempstead Turnpike in Bethpage. Hi, I'm Peter Schwartz.
And I'm Vinny Tickets.
We want to take a moment to talk about our fantastic sponsor, the Embassy Diner.
Embassy Diner has been a beloved staple in the restaurant industry.
Welcome back to Sports Bash, presented by the Ryan Anthony Head Start Fund. I'm Peter Schwartz. We'll get back to your phone calls at 516-465-3990. That is the number to call. We'll get to your calls a little bit later on. Also, former Mets pitcher Bob Ojeda is going to join us on the show in a little over 20 minutes from now. So we're going to talk to Bobby about getting a Thurman Munson Award next week. It's a great event. The Thurman Munson Awards are coming up next Thursday night here in the area, actually in Manhattan. So we'll talk to Bobby about that. We'll talk to Bob Ojeda about his career with the Mets and being part of that iconic 1986 Mets World Championship team. So we'll get to that in a little bit. But we want to talk a little soccer right now here on the show. We are moments away from being joined by the head coach of the New York Red Bulls, Michael Bradley. We are awaiting connection with him. So we're going to talk to Michael Bradley in just a moment as the Red Bulls are off to a terrific start. And they have a home game this coming Sunday against Montreal. We're going to talk to him about that. It's amazing how huge soccer is in our area right now with the World Cup coming. And by the way, I didn't mention this on the flash, but the World Cup coming to MetLife Stadium, along with ongoing construction at the Giants facility, which is right next to MetLife Stadium, it is going to cause the Giants to have to relocate most of their training camp. So the Giants are relocating their training camp to West Virginia.
Oh, wow.
Which for a lot of Giant fans, not going to be that convenient because it's a rite of summer that Giant and Jet fans like to go to see their teams in training camp. And there was a time when the Giants had their training camp up in Albany. So people are wondering, why aren't they just going to Albany? Why aren't they going somewhere else in New Jersey or somewhere else in New York? They are taking their training camp and they are moving it to West Virginia, which is interesting. We'll see how many of the fans make it. We'll see if there's a rhyme or reason why that's where John Harbaugh decided to there's a reason why he took it to West Virginia. So we'll have to see what happens with that. But yes, the World Cup coming to United States, Canada, and Mexico, and a bunch of games are going to be at MetLife Stadium, and that is going to force the Giants to relocate their training camp to West Virginia. Still awaiting Michael Bradley checking in with us. We see a connection from the Red Bulls. They have connected with us. We just don't see anything yet. Would I be correct in saying that, Tony?
You would be.
Yeah, so the Red Bulls have connected with us, but we don't yet see Michael Bradley. So we'll have Michael Bradley in just a minute. But before we bring him on, I will say that the Red Bulls will host Montreal this Sunday at Sports Illustrated Stadium. Tickets are available at sitickets.com. So you want to get your tickets for the game on Sunday, and they're off to a terrific 2-0 start. So you know what we'll do, Tony, while we wait for Michael Bradley, we'll get to the Coach's Collectibles item of the week, and then you'll just let me know when Michael logs on. Mm-hmm. So the Coach's Collectibles item of the week is this Brian Leach autographed 16x20 framed story photo piece. And it's a really nice piece. We talked about it on Tuesday. And Tuesday was Brian Leach's birthday, which we wished him a happy birthday, which for an Islander fan of myself was very tough to do. Well, I thought I was respectful to him on Tuesday. We talked about my wife's friend's son, who's named Brian Stefan. So, but The next Coaches Collectibles live event, Chaz Palminteri, Wednesday, March 25th at Fox Hollow Country Club in Woodbury. Photo op 6:30 p.m. Autograph session 7 to 8 p.m. Check them out online, coachescollectiblesny.com. Use code SPORTSBASH for free shipping on all of your orders. Well, the New York Red Bulls are off to an amazing 2-0 start to the season, and a lot of excitement around the franchise, especially with their new head coach, Michael Bradley, who joins us here on Sports Bash. Michael, it's Peter. How are you?
Peter, how are you? I'm good, thanks.
Doing great, and thank you so much for spending a few minutes with us. Belated congratulations on getting the job. You were the head coach at New York Red Bulls 2 and won a championship there, and to be able to get the call up and be the head coach of the New York Red Bulls, thinking back on when you found out about that, how excited were you to get the job?
Really, really excited. Unexpected for sure, but it was something that I was, as soon as I heard the possibility, something that I was really excited for. It was a challenge that I wanted to take in every way.
And when you say challenge, you're not joking, because this is a franchise that has not won an MLS Cup championship in their history, going back to their start as the Metro Stars. They've gotten to MLS Cup a couple of times. They haven't won. The fans have been starving for a winner, and you couldn't have asked for a better start to your season. 2-0. The fans are excited about it. Going back to the challenge of taking this job, do you look back on the history of the Metro Stars Red Bulls at all when taking this job, or is your singular focus what you have in front of you and turning this team into a championship contender?
It's a good question. I was a part of that history. So I played my 2 years with the Metro Stars when I first started my career. Obviously, then Red Bull came in and bought the club the year after I left, and so it was something that, again, I was really excited for. The soccer community in this area is really strong, and the circles run really tight. And so when you grow up playing in this area, when you've played for a club here, the part of feeling bound to the community and to this area, that part is different. It's special. And so when I had the opportunity then to become first coach of the second team last year, and then now coach of the first team, it's a big honor. It's something that I don't take lightly. And we're going to do everything we can to build a team that our fans can be proud of, and that can really hold up in the hardest games.
And you play in arguably one of the best, if not the best, soccer venue in the United States. It used to be Red Bull Arena. Now it's Sports Illustrated Stadium. And it is, for people in the area who have never been there before, they really should go to see it. It's an amazing place to see a game. I've been there so many times with my family. For you to lead that team out of the locker room onto that pitch at Sports Illustrated Stadium, that's got to be an incredible thrill.
You said it. It is, for me, still one of the best stadiums in the country, and it's not even close. I mean, the way that the club have continued to invest in it and upgrade and really make sure that it is one of the premier stadiums in the country. That part is amazing. And for all of us, when we step on the field there on the weekend, we don't take it for granted one bit. And so we're excited for another chance at home this Sunday, and we want to keep ourselves going in a good way.
And tickets are available for that game on Sunday against Montreal, 4:30, Sports Illustrated Stadium. Tickets are available at sitickets.com. So you guys are off to a 2-0 start, and you've a lot of the success this season so far has been the youth movement. And all three of your goals so far this season, including the only goal in the win over the weekend, was scored by a 17-year-old Julian Hall. In fact, the only goal of the game on Sunday was a 17-year-old player passing it to a 16-year-old player, passing it to Hall, a 17-year-old player who knocks it home for the goal. He's got all three goals this season. You have taken the term youth movement and you've brought it to a new level.
Yeah, look, there's a lot of really talented young players in this area, and we have a really good academy. And, we feel really strongly that a big part of our identity as a club has to be the way that we can connect our academy to the second team, to the first team. And so, we want to be a club that everybody knows if you're a young player in this area and you can keep working and keep improving and now find yourself at our get yourself to our club, that you will opportunity for you to there's a real path for you to continue and move your way into first team football. And so as we started the season and as we were trying to really look closely at things and figure out what our group needed to be when we started, we have some really talented young guys in our first team squad right now. And so we felt like they all had really good preseasons, and the time was right to show them confidence and to really give them an opportunity to show everybody how good they are.
Is there a concern? Like, how do you balance that as a coach, looking at the talent of a young player, whether he's 16 or 17 years old, and balancing the ability and also the fact that, it's kind of like, men among boys at some point too. So how do you balance that as a coach, knowing for sure that a 17-year-old or a 16-year-old is capable of going on a pitch and playing in Major League Soccer?
It's sports. You never know anything for sure, right?
Yeah.
So you there's a part where you make an environment every day in terms of how you put training together, how you challenge the players, how fast and dynamic and competitive things are, where you try to create an environment every day that is as close to the game as possible. And then you watch and you coach and you try to help every single player improve. When every training is done, you comb back through the video and make sure that you've seen every part of it. And so when we got to the end of preseason, we felt like, we had put a really good preseason together for everybody. It had been exactly what we wanted in terms of, again, the speed and the intensity and the competitiveness, and those young guys had held up in a really good way. And so at a certain point, then you just say, you know what, guys, go for it. We believe in you. We trust you. We know it's not going to be perfect every second. It isn't perfect for anybody, but we're gonna make sure that you guys have an opportunity to play and compete and really go for it.
We have a couple minutes left with Red Bulls head coach Michael Bradley. The Red Bulls play Montreal 4:30 on Sunday at Sports Illustrated Stadium. Tickets are available at sitickets.com. When fans come out to Sports Illustrated Stadium to see the Red Bulls play, and so far so good at 2-0, what do you hope to show the fans? What kind of team do you want this to be? And there's a lot of educated soccer fans in this area. So when fans come out to see the Red Bulls play, what do you want them to look for, and what kind of team will they see when they come out to the games?
We want to be a team that is aggressive and fast and attacking, exciting to watch, a team that's trying to put the game on our terms in every single moment. The foundation of Red Bull teams has always been aggression and pressing and counter pressing and playing with the highest level of intensity. And we will continue to have that in every way. But we also want to balance all of that with really good ideas with the ball. And we want to be a team that now, when we win the ball, can play in the other team's half, can connect passes, has different ways of getting into the box to create chances. Because if we do all that well, that sets up counter pressing. That sets up the ability, again, to be aggressive and to play the game as far away from our goal as possible and as close to our attacking goal as we can.
Michael, I don't know if you thought about this at all, but I mentioned before how the fans have been craving for a winner, and you come in, the team is off to a 2-0 start. You follow social media. The fans are so happy about this start, and you being the head coach and the young players on the team. And it's not just the fans. I mean, you keep winning games like this, you're going to make your season ticket holders happy. You're going to make the rest of your fan base happy. You may even turn some non-soccer people, into believers in the Red Bulls too, because a lot of local media may not be soccer people. Like you actually might get Boomer and Gio on WFAN excited about the Red Bulls.
That's what we're going for. Look, we as you said, there's a lot of really good soccer people in this area, experienced soccer fans who know the game. We want to be a team that plays in a way that those people love to watch and are proud of. But we also want to be a team that, again, no matter no matter if you're an expert or not, you look on the field and you see a team that is exciting and aggressive and fast and dynamic, and combine that with an incredible stadium. We feel like, again, we're going to be a team that everybody wants to come and watch.
And one last thing, Michael, and we appreciate your time. You were the captain of the U.S. national team. You played in 2 World Cups. How excited are you for the World Cup to be in our area? A bunch of games at MetLife Stadium, including the final. For you as a U.S. national team alum, what does it mean to have the World Cup in the United States, in North America, and particularly in New Jersey this year?
For me personally, it's full circle in so many ways. I was 7 years old when the World Cup was here in 1994, and so I can remember going to the old Giant Stadium to watch a few games. And now, here we are, almost 30 years later, and the part of now World Cup back here. The sport has grown so much in this country, and I think it's going to serve as the next catalyst for so many young players to see the best teams, the best players, and for me the biggest, best sports competition in the world right in their backyard. And so I think it's for all of us involved in the game, really exciting.
Michael, I can't thank you enough for spending some time on the show. Congratulations again on getting the job, the 2-0 start. And my family and I are looking forward to coming out to Sports Illustrated Stadium and catching a game. I got my scarf. I'm all ready to go. Looking forward to coming out there for a game.
We'll see you there. We really appreciate the support.
Thank you. Michael Bradley, head coach of your New York Red Bulls, off to a terrific 2-0 start. And again, the Red Bulls will host Montreal Sunday, Sports Illustrated Stadium, Harrison, New Jersey, 4:30. Tickets are available at SITickets.com. And again, I mentioned it during the interview with Michael. It's really a special place to see a game. For years, the Metro Stars, then the Red Bulls, they played at Giant Stadium. And even when they would get, a crowd of, 20,000, 25,000 people, it's 20, 25,000 people in an 80,000 seat stadium. So the atmosphere really wasn't that great. But now they play in a beautiful 25,000 seat stadium with all the bells and whistles, a beautiful grass field. It's an amazing place. And even if you're just a casual soccer fan, if you're not a soccer fan at all and you want to just give it a shot, it really is a wonderful place to see a game. Get out there early, get a good parking spot. You go to the tailgate. And they've got the Red Bull Fan Fest on the Boulevard. They call it the Bullevard Boulevard, which is amazing. They have all kinds of interactive things to do. It's a whole lot of fun. So if you had a chance, for me too, and I love soccer, but I'm programmed to go to soccer when it's a little warmer outside. And with American Soccer Club New York, where our season starts in May. So we shouldn't have to worry about, cold weather. We'll have to worry about rain and the elements, perhaps, over the summer. But you won't have to worry about the cold. Right now, I can't program myself at this moment to sit out for 2 hours. If it's American football, man, I've been out the games when it's below zero outside. You bundle up, it's fine. But soccer to me should be a warm weather sport. So I get, because of the scheduling, these games are taking place now. Now, here's the difference maker here is if the Red Bulls find it in their hearts to invite the Schwartz family into a suite, then you're talking in March and April. Then, we'll get in the car, we'll hop over the 2 bridges, and we'll get to Harrison, which we've done many times before. But I think right now, at least until, May comes along, tell us when, and we'll come in the suite, with all the trimmings and everything like that, and we'll come out to the game because I love it. But then, when the summer comes, you don't want to be inside during the summer. Now, climate control is nice also, but you can be outside during the summertime. But right now, we're waiting for the call to the suite. I think that'll be appropriate. And maybe also, if I can get a shirt in my size, every year the Red Bulls send me a jersey, and they send it in a 2XL or a 3XL. And I'm like, I'm a big guy who likes soccer. We have to, but listen, call, who makes the jersey? Adidas? I think Adidas makes the Red Bulls jersey. Can't their seamstress put a couple of jerseys together for me? Big guys like soccer too. You know, every year the package comes in the mail. It's a 3XL. I'm like, it's not going to fit. I even tried it on today. Like I would have worn the jersey today, and I've lost 30 pounds. Thank you very much for the very, very polite golf clap there, Tony. I've lost 30 pounds. So it's better, but even if I sit here with the 3X jersey, it's going to crumble up. You're going to see my gut that's still there. So we don't want to do that. But maybe the Red Bulls can find it in their hearts to find a jersey that would fit me. Anyway, we are going to switch gears. We're going to talk a little baseball when we come back. One of the most iconic teams in Mets history, certainly maybe the most iconic team. Well, 69 would argue with it. But 1986 Mets obviously has a special place in the hearts of all Met fans, and a part of that 86 World Championship team, Bob Ojeda, a crafty left-handed pitcher, is going to get a tremendous honor here in New York next week. Bob Ojeda, Bobby O, is going to join us when we come back on Sports Bash right after this.
For over 50 years. And the great thing about it is when you walk through the door, you're not a customer, you are family. Every visit promises to be filled with warmth, love, and respect.
And here's an extra treat. If you mention Sports Bash during your visit, you enjoy a free dessert on the Embassy Diner.
Come on down to the Embassy Diner, where great food and great company are always on the menu.
Visit the Embassy Diner located at 4280 Hempstead Turnpike in Bethpage. Hi, I'm Peter Schwartz.
And I'm Vinny Tickets.
We want to take a moment to talk.
In 1982, the Marty Lyons Foundation began with a single heartfelt mission: to bring moments of joy and hope to critically ill children by granting wishes that make their dreams come true. Since that day, we have touched the lives of over 8,600 families, raising over $44 million to grant wishes that offer a beacon of light in their darkest times. These precious wishes cost an average of $7,100 each, and your support is crucial to our mission. Every donation, big or small, makes a difference. And with 84 cents of every dollar going directly to supporting our families, you can rest assured your support truly changes lives. The Marty Lyons Foundation operates 11 chapters in 14 states now, working tirelessly to reach as many children as we can. This dedication goes hand in hand with our commitment to transparency and accountability, earning us top ratings on Charity Navigator, Great Nonprofits, and Candid, which underscores our dedication to those we serve. The Marty Lyons Foundation grants wishes to children ages 3 to 17. And what really makes this foundation so special is our willingness to grant not only a first wish, but also consider a second wish to a child who continues to battle a life-threatening illness. We stand by these children, offering them hope and strength through the power of dreams, giving our children the courage to wish for more.
What's your purpose in life? Is your purpose in life to live in the big house and drive the nice car? No. Your purpose in this life is to make it a little bit better for those that follow and realize that we live for today to see a better tomorrow.
Visit MartyLyonsFoundation.org to learn more and get involved.
Bash.
Okay, good.
Welcome back to Sports Bash, presented by TicketBash.com. I'm Peter Schwartz. We'll get back to your phone calls at 516-465-3990 in just a little bit. But want to welcome in our next guest on the show, a part of the 1986 World Champion New York Mets. And next Thursday in Manhattan, he is going to receive a very prestigious award, the Thurman Munson Award, at the Thurman Munson Awards to benefit AHRC NYC Foundation next Thursday night, March 12th at Chelsea Piers in New York. And we welcome into the program former New York Met and the 1986 World Champion, Bobby Ojeda. Bob, it's Peter. How are you?
I'm very good, Peter. Nice to talk to you.
Nice to talk to you, and thank you for taking the time out to join us here on the show. When you found out you were winning the Thurman Munson Award, how excited were you? How prestigious is this for you, and how much are you looking forward to being at the event next week?
Well, twofold answer. One, I was shocked because they broke my streak. I never win anything.
Well, you got a World Series ring, Bob. You won
that. You're right. That's not bad. But any ancillary things from the game, I always seem to be close but no cigar. But then I obviously did a little research into AHRC, and obviously we know Thurman Munson's history. He's a legendary, captain fighter. I'm very proud and appreciative to be receiving that award. I think it's a tribute to Thurman and his family, who's kept his spirit alive and has, raised millions of dollars over these years. So it means a lot to me. It means the world to me. It really does.
When you think about the foundation that's going to benefit from the event next week, AHRC in New York, and I'm sure you've done a deep dive into what they're all about and all the work that's been done, spearheaded by that foundation and also by, Thurman's, widow, his wife, Diana. What are your thoughts on what they're all about and what this award means?
Well, I actually went to the facility in the city, to the school, and was taken aback by how beautiful it was. And like everywhere, they are a niche, very important part of our country and of people. But it's always a struggle to raise money because for some reason it's just not a mainstream. It's difficult. It's difficult for a lot of people to acknowledge these people who face these challenges. We're just people, but one thing I think is imperative, remember, they're people. And you got to give, and you got to help them out. And the people at the facility, at the school, are just wonderful, caring people. And let's just say this, we've come a long way from Willowbrook.
Yeah. No question about it.
That was a human nightmare for those poor people. But it's a pathway to getting some freedom. It's a path they help, from little ones to adults. They educate them. They try to rehab them try to get them hired to things that they can fit into, which I think is so amazing. I'm proud to be a part of it. I'm very proud to get the award and very appreciative, but it's just, an amazing place and meeting the people. When I went there, and was meeting the people there, the little kids and the adults, it just rocks your world. Like, man, we got to all help out here because these people spend their life trying to be happy. And, the happiness in there was amazing. And then you think about all the people we hang out with, people who are successful and all this stuff, they spend a ton of time trying to be unhappy. It's kind of this juxtaposition. So I was certainly moved by being there, and I'm proud to be a part of it.
AHRC NYC was founded 76 years ago. It's a family-governed organization that is fiercely committed to achieving equity for people who are neurodiverse in New York City. And the Thurman Munson Award dinner, an event next week in New York City, will benefit that. And one of the winners of the Thurman Munson Award is Bobby Ojeda, the former Mets pitcher who joins us here on Sports Bash. You won't be alone with the hardware next week because Paralympic gold medalist swimmer Gia Pergolini and New York Sirens captain, the women's hockey team, and 2022 Olympic gold medalist Micah Zandihart are also going to win awards. So you'll have some company up there on the podium next week.
Oh, I look forward to it. I mean, how about Gia? What an inspiration she is. And I'm going to overlook that Michael Zandier beat us in 22 with Canada. I'm going to let that go. I'm not going to hold a grudge. I'm a good friend of mine, his daughter was a hockey player. I'm going to let it go.
We got him back. We got him back twice over this year.
I know. I won't bring that up either. That might spoil the evening for her. But no, obviously, two very deserving people who are, going to be a part of I think, a wonderful evening. And I hate to harp on it, but I hope we raise a lot of money.
Oh, and they do every year. I mean, so far, the Thurman Munson Awards dinner, named after the Yankees catcher and captain, has raised more than $26 million for children and adults with intellectual and developmental disabilities. And I'm sure next Thursday at Chelsea Piers is going to be every much of what it's been in the past, and even then some. I want to obviously talk a little baseball with you as well, if that's okay.
Sure.
To this day, like when people here in New York hear 1986 New York Mets world champions, especially the Met fans, obviously, because it meant so much, and it was the last time that the Mets won the World Series. When you think back to that and the way people still talk about that team, how does that make you feel to be a part of that team that captivated New York City that year?
I'm so proud of that. Obviously, in baseball, that was the pinnacle of what I was building for, to win the World Series, and to do it in a lot of style and a lot of flair. There's certainly been a lot of made-up stories that have somehow become true but weren't. They add to the folklore.
You want to share? You want to share one of them? No, just kidding. I'm just kidding.
I know. Thank you. No, it was, and you think about it, and a lot of people born today, and the young people, the old people who were there, remember New York City. It's in the 80s.
Yeah.
It's like, look out below. There is a lot going on in this town. And the town, we sort of were emblematic of the town. There was a lot of things, a lot of people shouldn't have been doing, and we were included. Mm-hmm. But somehow it worked out, and the fans just embraced that bunch of guys. That only thing we cared about was winning. That was the only thing we cared about. And we accomplished it by the skin of our teeth, which probably enhanced the memory of it for people. You don't know how many people come up to me and say, "Oh, I was sitting on the couch with my girlfriend," or, they recall exactly where they were when we won after Ray got that huge hit. It's great to be a part of something that was historically impactful for the game of baseball.
For you, when you were acquired, and obviously, Frank Cashin did a great job as general manager of the Mets, putting that team together, homegrown players and acquisitions like yourself. When you found out you were coming to the Mets, what was your thought process on that? What were your immediate expectations? Obviously, coming off the 2 years before where the Mets were contending to win the division but didn't quite get there. When you joined the team, what hit you about it?
Well, when I first found out I was traded, I was thrilled to get out of Boston because I love it. I loved Boston. The people were cool, fans were cool. I loved it. But professionally, it was a dead end because they were in turmoil. The front office, the ownership. It was kind of an ugly time for them. And, since then they've turned the corner, obviously, and have done extremely well. But I was glad to get out. I didn't know one thing about the Mets because I was in my world in the American League, and I was, I had my hands full with those guys. So when I came over and got to spring training, I'm like, it was eye-opening because I was around literally, and I'm not just blowing smoke, it was a lot of grumpy old men who were hanging on, and the young group, myself, Bruce Hurst, John Tudor, all these guys were coming up, and we weren't exactly welcomed with open arms because we were running the older guys out. It was a team in transition, if you will. So to get out of there was a breath of fresh air, to get down to Florida and meet these guys who I knew nothing about. And finding stats and things wasn't so accessible. Obviously, it is today. So it was a gradual process in spring training to learn who was what, and most important thing, what was expected. And we were expected to win it. We were challenged in our face from Davey, we're going to win. There's no second place. There's no, we tried really hard, good luck, shucks, we'll see you next year. No. It was win or go jump off a bridge because we're through with you. And I thrived on that. That message resonated with me. And the optimism was part of the jump start to get us going. Now, we didn't fly out of the gate, but the thought and the knowledge, and I was a 5-year veteran by then, so when I came over here, I was like, okay, it's a long year. You start a little slow, no big deal. But the expectation never wavered. The expectation never wavered from day one. And then once we got the season going, and then we caught fire, and then it was evident what was going on. It was like, we're most likely going to win this thing, and we're going to dominate. We're not just going to win, we're going to dominate. And that fed into that it became known as arrogance, but it was arrogance to a little extent, but we earned a little bit of arrogance. We earned the confidence we had. It wasn't false bravado. It was legit. And it was just an amazing ride. And then, to end it on top like we did was, I hate to say magical. It's so cliche, but it's true.
When you think about your season that year, in the regular season, you were terrific, 18-5 with a 2.57 ERA, but you really earned your money in the playoffs because you had a complete game shutout in Game 2 of the NLCS against Houston. But then in Game 3 of the World Series, I remember, I was talking about this before, the Mets lost the first 2 games of the World Series at home at Shea, and then you go to Boston and you get a win, 7-1 in Game 3, which really turned the series around. And I'm sure, based on what you just said about leaving the Red Sox, that really had to put a big smile on your face.
Oh, my gosh. It was a grudge match. I had good friends there, but I also had wonderful enemies. So to thrive against them, to stand on that mound 60 feet away and stare at them, look them down, these guys who were really hard on us young guys, not just me. I mean, like I'm talking about Hursty and Tudor and John Barrett and these other guys. To stare them down and then to beat them, and not just beat them, but to beat them in dramatic fashion, and not just beat them in dramatic fashion, to beat them in the biggest game of my life. If I'd have blown Game 3, I'm not here right now because we would not have come back. We would not have won it. I don't believe so. It was the hardest game of my life mentally. I really had to talk myself down. I created this fantasy in my head. It's just another game, no big deal. But meanwhile, this is a stadium and the guys I'd been with for the previous 5 years. And I remember hoping against hope towards the end of the season. I'm like, I can't believe those guys are going to win. So you got to be kidding me. And I kept hoping for them to lose, and they didn't. And then I'm like, oh my God, I can't write anything more nerve-wracking than to face them. But it turned out great. But that Game 3 was the biggest game of my life. And to come through in the biggest game of your life is a great feeling, especially when you become an old man.
No question. And when you think about that World Series, also obviously Game 6, an iconic game in the history of baseball comes to mind. You guys are down by a couple of runs, and everybody on that Mets team, coming up with your last at bat, everybody on that Mets team has a story about where they were. We've heard about Keith Hernandez going back to the clubhouse. We've heard about all these things about what unfolded as that comeback happened. Where were you during that great comeback to win Game 6, and what was your mindset as you guys came to bat in the bottom of the inning?
Well, I left the game. We were leading, I believe, 2-1. And I went up, starting pitchers, they go up, I ice my arm. You do all the starting pitcher stuff because we're prima donnas. So I'm doing that, and I'm watching the game on the TV, and I'm like, man, this really don't look good. But I also see the amazing comeback, and I think Gary Carter affected that comeback more than anyone. I know the drama happened after, but he came up. We were in dire straits, and he was going up and down that dugout. They were showing on TV, and I actually crept down to the dugout. I was in a towel, but I crept down to the dugout to look, see what's going on. Mm-hmm. He said, I'm not making the last out. And I think he infected that bench. I really do. Mm-hmm. And then the guys who came up huge, and I mean, I can't talk enough about Ray Knight. Ray Knight was the true leader of that team. He was a gamer. He was a fighter. Ask Eric Davis. He was legit. He was like that in the locker room. Yep. A leader doesn't just lead on the field. That's fine. But Ray was a presence in that locker room. He didn't say much. He didn't have to. He did not have to. He projected authority. He projected, I'm a competitor. He projected, I'm going to beat your butt. And we fed off of that. He didn't blow his own horn. He didn't talk much. He wasn't a big fan of the press. We had enough of those. And he was just content to do his job. And I couldn't think of a better ending for him to drive in the winning run. I'm like, are you kidding me? You can't make this up. And the winning run was, that was the end of the game. That was, after the long innings and stuff, the extra innings. No, it was amazing. But everybody does have a story. But one thing that never ever set right with me is I'm in the locker room, ice in my arm, hanging out, and I'm watching on the TV, and it's coming out. Everybody's like, come on. Everybody's, a little dejected, no question. But they were still fighting. Everybody was still fighting in that dugout, fighting for that win. And when I saw Keith Hernandez come up and take off his uniform, and I'm looking at the TV, I'm like, the game's still going on. I'm like, what happened? I was just like, you really kind of shouldn't do that. When you're supposed to be one of the leaders of the team, you shouldn't just quit on everybody and because you made an out. That was the first inkling of this team was about to become about itself. Because when I got there in '86, it was we. And that final game that we thank God won, that little crack of it's about me was evident. And I thought history has proven we haven't won in 40 years. 40 years. And I think they lost that, Frank built a great team, but I think the one thing he missed was Ray Knight was the heartbeat and the guts and the other part of the body of that team. And when we lost him, we lost that hammer. We still won. The team was still great. We still won. But to win the World Series and to do that, you have to have that little extra ingredient. That little, you don't see it, doesn't show them on any chart, any analytics, any egghead's going to look at it and say, oh, well, we need to. No. It comes from within. You can't see it. You can't taste it. You can't smell it. You feel it. And when we lost Ray, we lost that little thing. And look at the record. We won after that, but we didn't win the big one.
Yeah.
And it had nothing to do with one person or two people. It had to do with the makeup. It was really turned into everybody wanted to be a star. Everybody wanted to be a star. Everybody on the camera was singing songs, all this silly nonsense. And I'm like, we got work to do.
Yeah.
And, obviously never, ever found their feet again. Billions of dollars have been spent. The Met fans have stayed true and loyal. I love Met fans because, boy, they could take a punch.
Well, Bobby. Speaking of Met fans, and there's so many fans that enjoy whether they were around when you won the World Series or they're younger fans that appreciate the history. That '86 team means so much to Met fans, and my producer Tony Walker is a diehard Mets fan, and I'm sure if you don't mind, I'd like to give him the last word on the interview because he's such a diehard Met fan, and I'm sure he would love to personally thank you for 1986. Tony,
I would love to personally thank you for 1986. Thank you, Bob, for 1986.
Well, you're welcome, Tony, and I'll say this, and I'm not being condescending. Thank you for being there for us, because when we go to the ballpark and all you crazy Met fans were out there, and, typical Mets, right? They were working on the stadium that year, if you recall.
Yes.
There were sections of the stands that were closed. And I'm like, man, you could sell every ticket ever made, and they're working on the stadium.
They were replacing the seats. I remember. I was at games where they closed off sections. Yeah.
We're Met fans.
Ironic. But
well, don't say we. I'm not a Mets fan.
There.
Don't say we. Go ahead. I'm sorry, Bob.
As Met fans, we're used to losing, and we're used to situations like that. Where they're building seats.
I hate to hear that. It shouldn't happen. I mean, it's baseball, it's life. But 40 years? Are you serious?
I know. It's crazy.
I struggle with that. That's why I have a hard time talking about it. I can't watch because I still have this passion for the New York Mets. I still have this love of the New York Mets. Now, when I say that, I'm not talking about individual people because look at all the pieces. They come and go. But that Met orange and blue and that Met cursive on the jersey, which people can't even write in cursive anymore. I just love that that team. Mm-hmm, and like I say, people come and go. Ownership, as we all know, comes and go. Got a new one in there. But the organization, you can't kill it. And I love it. And I have so much respect and admiration for Met fans.
My question for you is, it's Mets related, but it's not from '86. My question is, what does it feel like when you see somebody like Andre Dawson charging the mound at you? What goes through your mind?
Oh, crap. That probably is another reason why I love Gary Carter, because he saved my life.
Yes, he did. But credit to you. You were ready. You were ready to go, man. Credit to you, because I'd be running very fast the other direction.
Oh, no, you can't. But I hit him right after somebody hit a home run.
Yes.
And he thought, which maybe I did, hit him on purpose, but I hit him in the back. It's like, come on.
Right.
And he turned, and the guy's built like a wall. He pointed the bat. I'm like, nah, you're big enough. You really got to hit me with a bat?
Right.
And then Gary bear hugged him, and then everybody got real tough after that. Like, yeah, I'm going to kick your butt. Meanwhile, the fight's over before it began, but I think I saw my life flash before my eyes when he did that. He's a very scary man. Very scary man.
Yeah, absolutely.
Bobby, this was so much fun. I can't thank you enough for coming on the show. Congratulations on the Thurman Munson Award. It's going to be next Thursday, March 12th at Chelsea Piers. You can still get tickets online, www.ahrcnycfoundation.org, and look for the information on getting the tickets. And congratulations to you, and thanks for all the great memories you provided for baseball fans in New York. By the way, this Yankee fan you're talking to right now was very happy that you beat the Red Sox in the World Series in 1986. So I thank you for that, and I thank you for coming on the show.
You're very. I do want to say a special hello to one of the students, Rosa, who sings like an angel. I hope she sings the night of the dinner. Just a sweetheart of a girl. She's a student. Mm-hmm. Before I go, I just want to say, what happens is a lot of people you don't think, you just don't think, and then they sing or they talk or they ask you a question and they have concerned about you. It's so moving and so awesome. But I hope she's there because the kid's an angel.
Awesome. Bobby, thank you so much. Congratulations, and hope we can have you back on the show somewhere down the line.
Okay, sounds good.
Awesome. Bobby Ojeda, well, that was wonderful. Former Mets pitcher Bobby Ojeda will get a Thurman Munson award next Thursday. I think that might be a top 5 interview here on Sportsbash. Right. I know you liked it. I know you liked it very much. We're overtime already, but I think Tony is okay with that after that interview. It's time for What's Hot at Ticketbash.com. Get the best seats at the best prices with no service fees at Ticketbash.com. Tonight, Rangers host the Maple Leafs. Friday, St. John's visiting Seton Hall. Saturday, NYCFC hosting Orlando City, and the Rangers visit the Devils. On Sunday, the Red Bulls will host Montreal, and the Devils will host the Red Wings. Really quick, we didn't have time for this on Tuesday. We really don't have time for it now, but I'm going to make time for it because I like to think I'm a good dad, and it is time for an edition of Dad's Time to Brag. We're going to go back to this past Saturday night. My son Jared scoring the game-winning goal on this fabulous one-timer in the LI Sounds 2-1 win over the Bingers. That was a tremendous goal for Jared, his 3rd of the season. Now, this past Tuesday night, my son Bradley playing in the 3-on-3 Long Island Hockey League at Flexible Arena in Hauppauge. He scored a goal as well, also on a 2-on-1, but he moved in a little bit and fired a shot upper part of the net. So congratulations to both Jared and Bradley for some big goals this week playing hockey. Next week on Sports Bash, Tuesday, March 10th, we are going to be joined by MSG Network's Islanders host and reporter, Shannon Hogan. So we look forward to having Shannon on the show to talk a little Islanders hockey. And then we've been teasing this because we weren't sure with the I's getting dotted and the T's crossed, but it is official. We have our next FOP next Thursday, March 12th. A great friend of mine who writes the Long Island stories for the New York Post, especially all those great sports stories. Alex Mitchell from the New York Post is going to join us as the FOP for the whole hour. And by the way, Alex has written some tremendous local stories, including the story he just wrote in the Post about Gus at the Embassy Diner feeding all the first responders during the last blizzard. When all the restaurants were closed, the Embassy Diner was open, and Gus provided food for the first responders at the hospital across the street, and also for people who were removing the snow that like they were looking for a place to eat, and they stopped in, and Gus was open. He did a great story. If you haven't seen it, look it up in the New York Post. Alex Mitchell does some great sports stories as well. We're going to have Alex on the show next Thursday as the FOP. And that will do it for what an action-packed show. We had job applications on the show. We talked soccer today. We talked baseball. All kinds of stuff on the show today. We thank you very much for watching. That's it for this edition of Sports Bash, presented by TicketBash.com and the Ryan Anthony Head Start Fund. Thanks to my guests, Michael Bradley and Bob Ojeda. Thanks to our social media coordinator, Leanne Burgess. And thanks to Tony Walker and everyone at Governors. Tony's going to have to come down a little bit after getting a chance to talk to Bobby Ojeda before I knew it was going to put a little sparkle in his eye. He's all pumped up. Sports Bash is sponsored by the Embassy Diner in Bethpage, by Coaches Collectibles, and by the Marty Lyons Foundation. For our entire crew, I'm Peter Schwartz. Thanks for watching and listening. We are back on Tuesday at 1 o'clock. Have a great weekend, everybody.